Greetings from Canada's beautiful capital city of Ottawa. We're approaching Pesach, and as we read the Torah's description of the events commemorated on this holiday, there's a question that occurs to me that I'd love to share with you. For each of the first few times that Moshe and Aaron come before Paro and perform signs, wonders, and miracles, Paro sends forward his Chartumim, sorcerers, and he instructs them to recreate, or at the very least, imitate the miraculous. As if to say, I'm not impressed. I also have people who can do magic tricks, and I'm not convinced that there's some grand creator behind it all. And for the first few times, they are actually able to perform, at the very least, a reasonable facsimile of the miracles that Moshe and Aaron initiated. It must be that these sorcerers were able to tap into some kind of abilities that at the very least resembled the supernatural. And yet, even if you concede that point, the Or HaChaim asks an obvious question. We know that all Egyptian sources of water turned to blood in the first plague. Even water that had been previously drawn and stored, and even water that they took from Jewish people. And if that's the case, where on earth would they even get the water from to try to recreate the plague? It must be, says the Or HaChaim, that the Egyptian sorcerers purchased water from Jewish people, and in doing so, it stayed water. Then once they had it in their possession, they were able to turn around and say, look, we can also turn it into blood. In reflecting on this idea, I'm reminded of the words of one of my favorite non-traditional commentaries, Jerry Seinfeld. In his opening monologue to The Mango, one of the episodes of his iconic sitcom, Jerry Seinfeld quips about how impressed he is with seedless watermelon. What are they even planting to grow the seedless watermelon, he wants to know? Water? And what kind of scientists are even working on this? Other scientists are saying, I'm going to focus on AIDS, cancer research, heart disease. This guy's saying, no, I want to focus on melon. I really think that that's the important area. Sure, thousands of people are dying needlessly, but that's got to stop. Back in Mitzrayim, the Chartumim obviously had some pretty special talents and abilities. They were in a position of power and authority where they were able to impact Egyptian society, and thanks to being bankrolled by Paro, they had the resources at their disposal to do things that would actually be meaningful and actually make a difference. And yet, when they had these resources, they were able to purchase refreshing, life-saving water that could have alleviated the suffering of people all around them. They instead used it in one of the most flippant, meaningless ways possible, transforming yet it also into blood. At NCSY, we also have people with tremendous talents and abilities who have been put in a position with the potential to make meaningful impact on the lives of Jewish teens, their families, and the communities around us. But by contrast, we strive every day to use our skills to uplift the people that we work with. Whether you're a member of our staff team, somebody considering joining us in this holy work, or just a member of the community who enjoys tuning in for the Divrei Torah, as we approach Pesach, I encourage us all to keep in mind this lesson. Use your God-given talents and abilities always for positive and meaningful purposes, thereby enriching our own lives and those of the people around us. Wishing everyone a Chag Kasher V'Sameach.
Heart, along with all the thousands, now's the time of freedom. Find your voice somewhere in the silence. Light your torch, see it from the mountains. Join your heart, along with all the thousands. Now's the time of freedom.